Hey everyone, so this is lesson 1. I want to keep these videos short, so I'm not going to waffle on and I'm just going to dive straight into the first lesson. So, one of the main problems I see with people when they're using Logic is they forget to select this snap regions to absolute value function. And the problem this can cause is when you're trying to play to a click or align things to the grid, it's hard to accurately snap things to the grid, which means things can eventually become out of time. So if we zoom in here, you'll see that I can move it slightly off from the grid, but when I zoom right back out, it looks perfectly in time. It looks in time there, but if you zoom right back in, it's not in time, and this can have a knock-on effect, which means if I go to the next region, it's knocked the next region out of time. So this can make it really difficult when you're trying to play to a click and trying to play in time, because it knocks every region out of line. So this can be really frustrating when you're trying to match regions together as well. So if you see, I'm going to try and drag this region next to the other region, and it can be, I'm zoomed in as far as I can possibly zoom in, and I can't quite line them up, and it's quite easy to just overlap them, and I'm very zoomed in, and this can chop off the end of MIDI notes and can just make things not line up very well. And all of this zooming in as far as you can zoom in is quite time consuming and it's just not very efficient. So, and if you imagine if you're going to do that 50 to 100 times at least in one project, it can be really time consuming, and you're just wasting a lot of time. So I'm going to show you a method now that can save you so much time and can just snap everything quickly to the grid, and it will just save you a lot of time. Okay, so the solution to this problem is if you just go in this snap menu and you select snap regions to absolute value, anytime you move a region now, it will just snap to the grid, and you won't have to worry about trying to line it up by zooming in really far. And even if you're zoomed out super far, it will just snap to the grid like that, and you never have to worry about it not lining up. So if I zoom out as far as I can, you can see that I can line it up to the strong beat to the bar. And then if I zoom all the way in, it's perfect, and that saves you so much time and just gives you peace of mind, and you can just snap it to wherever you want, and you won't get this cumulative effect where one piece of out of time region will cause all of the other ones to be out of time, and you can just quickly snap things to the grid and they will always be in time with the click, and it's just so easy. And all that is just in the snap menu and then snap regions to absolute value. So you might be thinking it's not that big of a deal and it doesn't really matter, but quite a lot of people ask me why their drums have gone out of time, and they don't really understand the cause of it, and this is the cause of it, because it does have a knock-on cumulative effect and you don't really realize because you can't see what's happening. If you're zoomed out, because you're probably at this kind of zoom level when you're recording a song, and it looks exactly the same, it looks as if they're in time, but just that little millisecond of time can actually make a lot of difference, and it can make it quite hard to play with the groove, because it's either slightly behind the beat or ahead of the beat, and it will cause your drums or anything else to be out of time. And a lot of my mates ask me why their drums have gone out of time, and this is the reason. So if you just remember every time to check the snap menu, and it's just a really good function. So here's a quick tip for when you're zooming in and out on a project. I see a lot of people using these sliders to zoom in and out, and it's fine, it works. But if you use the key command and then the arrow keys, you can zoom in really quickly to wherever you want. And it's useful to remember that where the playhead is selected, that is where the zoom in point will be. So if you see, it's zooming in and out of the playhead. But if you have a region selected, it will prioritize the beginning of the region over the playhead. And I see a lot of people not really realizing that it will zoom in on either the region or the playhead, and they'll have the playhead say a beat further ahead of where they want to zoom in, and then they'll zoom really far in and then try and scroll along and find where they want to be. And you can see that can take quite a lot of time. But if you just remember that it does zoom in on the playhead and you just hold Command and the arrow keys, it zooms straight into where you want to be, and it's just really quick. Alright everyone, that's it for this lesson. I know it's a bit of a boring subject, but it can be really useful and can just help save you a lot of time when you're working in Logic. Let me know down in the comment section what you want to see in the next lesson, and I'll see you in the next one. It came to pass.